Hey, I know what's happening, brother. No problem, man. All right, my friends out there in YouTube land, this is yours truly, Rockin' Dave, the real deal. North Fort Myers, Southwest Florida, and all that good stuff. This video I've been wanting to do for quite some time. Well, first of all, I want to welcome everybody to the channel where you, right from a gigging musician, get to give it to you straight, what things work, what things don't work. And usually, my friends, a lot of this stuff works out there. It really does. It depends on how you're using it. Now, that being said, this particular video is on a drum machine I've had since, God, we got this back in 2004 when it first came out. And it was $500 back then, and the price hasn't really dropped too much. Part of the reason, because you got like double bass, you could do double bass kicks and all that. And another reason is you do have an onboard guitar effect processor. And I'm going to kind of go through this. You see, here's your input right here. Right here. It has acoustic guitar, an acoustic guitar, a series of acoustic guitar effects, bass guitar effects, and of course electric. On a lot of my CDs, when I would actually lay down the bass tracks, this would act as a good amp sim to go direct into the board. And I was able to get a really good clean recording. And some of the bass sims that are in there will have like power bass, chorusing, flanging a little bit, phasing, a little bit of an overdrive. So you have multiple things that's usable if you wanna lay tracks, or even if you wanted to take this out and use it as the bass sim and go direct into a PA. If you're in a situation where you're not really a bass player and you're not going to spend money on a whole lot of gear that you don't really have to, it does work. What I'm running this into is, I'm gonna turn my volume down here on the guitar. I'm running the Les Paul, the Gibson Les Paul, straight into this thing. And let me show you the amp that I am using. I'm going to show you the back of this amp, the connections here. Let me just grab this. Sorry about this, guys. Of course, nothing works for me, right? So this is the Roland B. Let me take that off. Move that. The BA330. It is a 4-channel powered PA, and there's the inputs. You got stereo ins and stereo outs. You do it'll run 11 hours on 8AA batteries. So here's your connections, because I got it plugged in. But you do have, we could run it. You could take this and run stereo speakers, powered speakers, and separate them, and you will not cancel the speakers in the front of this. Now let me show you what the front looks like. This is the front of it. So you got 4 6-inch speakers, and you got 2 tweeters in there. So it's a great little, it is a great little amp. And of course there's the drum machine. You're not going to be able to see too much. See how they have the lettering on this thing? That's the only thing. But here is your outputs on it. You do have MIDI. You do have a USB. You have foot switch controllable, which I do have. I got 5 of those little latch switches. And then you have another independent output. And I think what this will do, this will run the guitar effects separate from the drums. And then you also have a RCA output hookup on it. And I think our friend up in Great Britain, Dave Simpson, he had a question, or someone had asked him a question about drum machines, that have guitar effects, and he wasn't too sure about that. And I sent him a message. I said, well, actually, there has been one, the drum machine, the Boss Dr880. When we bought this drum machine, again, it was 2004. We bought this, and we bought the Boss RC20 XL. We already had the Boss RC20 looping pedal. The difference between the two is the 20 XL, you can do fade outs where the RC20 you can't. And we still have both of those pedals. And they worked great. They work great when you need in the situation where you have no power and you have to run things on batteries. Now, I think it was earlier today, Robert's Guitar Dungeon. I watched the rerun. I guess he was live yesterday. I didn't know he was live yesterday evening. He's usually live around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was doing my gig yesterday from 12 to 3:30. So I didn't know that he went later. Otherwise, I would have jumped in on the live chat. But I guess someone wrote in on the comments, can you use an effect unit or any type of these multi-effect processors to go and make recordings? A lot of them, of course, you can. See, here's the thing. People have a strange perception that you can't use this, that, and the other. It's how you use things. That's basically what it is. And sometimes people are on a tight budget, so of course you could use it. I was doing a lot of my recordings just using this directly into it, into our Korg DR3200 standalone. I use a lot of standalone digital recorders. I don't use anything on the computer. I'm not computer savvy, and I really don't like that technology. It has its strong points, but I'm old school, and I like staying old school. A lot of this technology I could actually do without. Trust me. And the things, they work. I don't get freeze ups or anything with this gear, so that's why I use it. But if you are computer savvy and that's your thing, well, just go through the USB. See, here's my problem with all this computer stuff. You have noticed a lot of this gear you buy, then you have you'll have the software. You have to update the software, right? and you're supposed to be able to get more access to sounds and this, that, and the other. You know, what's wrong with having all the access hands free? See, knobs, buttons. What's wrong with that? You know, that's why I don't like a lot of this computer stuff. And, you know, since I've had that situation where I had a virus on my phone when I downloaded a free app, I'm dead set against all that stuff. For me, anyone else, you do what you want. So, you know, that's why I use the gear that I use, and it proves itself because, like I said, this is 16 years old, and it works great. Now let's see. What I'm going to do is kind of go into this. See, now I'm accessed to guitar effects. Now if I hit this button again, see, since I'm outside, you can't really see it's lit up. So if I hit it again, you just get, you know, you bypass it. Now we're back into the effect mode. So if I want to exit the effect mode, I just hit this exit. Now I'm back into the drum pattern. Now, I'll tell you what, using the Les Paul and that tone, it works great for a lot of fusion. Because I'm doing a lot more jazz fusion and bluesy stuff now. Because a lot of the places I play at, they like that. And I also like it too. I like it just as much as I like metal. But now, here's what we're going to do. Like, I'm going to turn down the bass. Well, maybe I'll leave the bass. So, you get an idea what this is. So. So as you can see, you know, you could really get in here and totally edit everything. And I don't really use it for that. And I haven't actually used it in quite some time. So I'm just kind of giving you an example. Now, if I turn down the bass and I just still want just drums, which is kind of cool because now you can come up with your own keys that you want. So when I have the foot switches in here, I could have it where I could start and stop. I have another switch activated if I want to do chimes or crash. And then the other two switches will go up and down programs. So I could take anything in the preset, because you get 500 presets, you get 500 users. I could copy it to the user and edit the hell out of it. And what's really cool with that, when you, let's say if you want to use the same type of a pattern, but yet you're going to go into another part of your song. Well, when you hit the switch that goes to the next pattern or the next, bank or number, or whatever the hell you want to call it, now you can have it where it's more edited, and then you come, go back and forth. You can do it as many times as you want. Now, let's get with the guitar effects, because here you have, they call it a cool lead. Now, you can edit these. Now, I haven't done any of the editing since I've had this, because I'll use this for different things, I use things differently, So I find something I like, I'll use it, because we got so much gear, I could just grab whatever I want, So I do have the manual. I don't know if there's any videos. If I could find the time, I'll see what I could do about getting into editing all of this. I did try, and I had a little bit of issue on it. And you see, that's what I mean. Wasting time. If you're a creative person, to hell with it. Let's find another piece of gear. We'll use this for rhythm, or whatever. That's fine. And then I'll use something else to, go into my solos and that. Because to me, I value time. I really value the time. I don't like sitting down and ding-donging around with stuff if I don't have to. To me, time is my life. People say time is money. Well, no, time is your life. I'll get on to that some other time. But anyway, so let's see what we got here. So user patch number 1 is your, like an overdrive. Here you have nice clean chorus. So one of the songs I recorded, I have not released, but I've been playing it lately, called Reconcile. It starts with a C sharp minor 7. And it goes into a D major 7. So that track was recorded just using this. And I guess what this is a clean chorus. It's Roland is real famous for having the Jazz Core stereo amp. And I remember when those came out, man. Well, actually, they came out a year after I started playing, but I remember seeing them when I started going to the music stores and buying gear. Okay, so that's that. Now let's see what we got here for number 3. You do have what's supposed to be a rectifier stack. Okay. So I'm going to see if I can find a pattern that would kind of match something heavy. Let's see. Let's see what heavy rock does. And I'll add the bass in there. How's that? Here we go. Now I'm going to stop that. I'm going to take the... There you go. This is all live, my friends. No editing. I live in a 55 plus community, and we have more rockers in the area. than at some of these colleges, right? And you think you got the 20-something-year-olds in the colleges. No, they like to rock here, man. All right, so here we go. I don't know if I have anyone in the comments. Yeah, Janice Lala, how you doing? Sean, what is happening? Really appreciate you guys. Let's see if I got anything else. Okay, so I turned down the bass, so now you just can hear the drums, and this is what I like. Let me just go ahead and do this here. This is what I like about this, because when you turn the bass down, you're not really restricted. You're just restricted to a beat. If I just leave it in the use preset, pattern, but you're not restricted to a chord progression. Now here we go. So, but you can see how some of these patterns can be like extremely limiting. That's why they give you options to go in and edit the hell out of it. And once you do that, it does sound cool. Now, there is a video. I don't know if it's still up, because this was quite some time. Geez, maybe it could have been almost 10 years ago. Well, there was a guy using one of these, and he wasn't using any of the patterns or anything. He literally was playing drums with the pads, doing double bass and rolls and everything. And it was badass, because the one thing that this does have, if you want to get into your kits, the drum kits, you have, I don't know, it was maybe, I forget how many different kits, drum kits you have. I mean, it's endless. So what this guy was doing basically was doing something like this. I can't do it, but I'm going to do it the best I can. See, I would have to take lessons if I wanted to be a drummer, right? Okay, exit that. And then, of course, you could edit it. But anyway, let me get back into the actual guitar effects. So, now, this coming out in 2004, so it's still using its Cosm effects. I think the GT 1000 is using what's known as its AIR technology. A lot of this technology, it keeps evolving. It gets better and better and better. But really, how much better does it get compared to what came out a year or two before? I don't know. I mean, my ears can't hear it. And when you got things buried in a mix, that's sucking up, tone. And then here's another thing. Tone is like in the ears of the beholder. It's subjective. So everyone's got their personal taste. What is nice with this, I did see a guy use one of these down here at one of his gigs, and he just used it just to plug his guitar in. So he didn't have to have any pedals. What is cool with this, if you're, let's say you're playing a bluesy set, and you just want to keep your guitar tone basically to one type of a deal, well, you could go with something like this, and just rely on your volume on your guitar. You could do that, and it's got a nice delay, slapback delays. Okay, let's get back into this. So there's the rectifier. Now, number 4 is a coarse combo. So my guitar volume is all the way up. So I guess it would try to simulate if you're running a course through maybe a dirty Fender, like a Princeton amp or something like that, with a small speaker. What I do like about this Les Paul is the amount of tone I get out of it. You get so many tone options. Okay, so you can use this part. Now let's see what number 5 is. It says for heavy metal. Not too much different than the rectifier, but you see what they're doing is they're getting as close to their versions of these amplifiers, and part of it is by using different overdrives and different EQ settings. So not bad. Let's see. Okay, let's see what the next one is. Okay, Echo Lead. A lot of these songs I haven't played in years, and I like them, but I don't really mind. I like doing my own thing. I don't have to worry about copyrights. Okay, so here we got our T-amp lead. Kevin Hall, what's happening? Doesn't say what's happening, brother. Oh, 7:30 a.m. Yeah, you're a few hours ahead of us. It's already Monday. And head out soon. Hey, well, have a great day, man. And thank you for tuning in, and hope your day goes great. Make lots of money, lots of friends. The whole ball of wax, my friend. Thank you. So that's pretty much that amp right there. Okay, let's see what number 8 is. 1959 lead. actually, this amp I used at if you type in on my other channel, Dave Byron's Shredding Motorcycle Sunday MCS 2015. The video is like maybe a little over a minute long. I'm using the Boss ME70 right into this, and actually the song I was playing is one of my originals called Midnight Sun. I'm using the Les Paul on that as well with the coil splits, the both pickups and coil taps, and the switch in the middle, so I've got both bridge and neck pickup going. So that's how that sounds. That's the, now here's the lead stack. So let's see what this sounds like. A little bit of the mids are boost. A little bit hissy there. And now you can't get in and edit it, but when I figure that out, I'll do another video on that. So here's your lead chorus. Okay, and let's see what number 11 is. Smooth lead, okay. So this is another, this would be something else I would use on some of the jazzier stuff, because I don't like, if I'm doing for certain styles of music, obvious. I don't like it where it's so hissy. And I do like boosting the mids because for soloing purposes. Because when you do fast runs, the notes really pop out. They don't get like buried in mush. That's why, I do like boosting the mids. Oh, well, yeah, you're welcome, Kevin. Don't worry about it. You're welcome, my friend. Really appreciate it. So now that, but see here, again, it almost like the mids are boost and maybe the lows are cut and the highs are. When did the 8i come out? It is older. Yeah, Ed, we got this in 2004. And that's when Guitar Center first opened up in the Naperville, Illinois area. Dale Palmer, what's happening? Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you tuning in, man. So I want to say, Ed, that the Dr880 probably came out, maybe it could be 2008 or maybe 2004. It was around my birthday, November. We got this. Yeah, it's a nice drum machine, And what's nice about it, the options that you have. It will not run on batteries. I do have the DR5, which is like pianos and all kind of stuff it has in it. And then I have the DR670. That'll run on batteries. But there's no guitar effect processor. Because this has a guitar effect processor, you can't run this on batteries. I know there's a lot of people out there that will say, well, I don't use this and it's kind of a toy, and that's fine. There's certain tones I don't really like on here, obvious, but there's some that are not too bad. Let's see. Where this could work is, again, when I did the opening. I'll use this patch, Smooth Lead, for Um, there's a little thing right here going on. Okay. And I'll just do a little, you'll see what I mean. Here we go. I'll boost the bass. So you get an idea. Certain things will work with certain styles of music, and of course, again, it is uh, it is how you use things. You know that it really does come down to how you use things. Would I have to use this in a professional studio? Well, if this is what I had, and if I'm paying the guy, I understand some of these recording engineers. By the way, since I've opened up that can of worms, they're trying to establish their name recognition. I do get it. Especially if they're known for recording metal. Well, then I wouldn't expect them to do jazz fusion, but I would definitely go in there with metal, and I would definitely listen to what they have to say. Um, but if it's still in the end, I would if it's something that I liked and they didn't, uh, then I would say, well, let's compromise. If you want to just do the demo here, or if you want to give me a recommendation, because you see, all these people, they need to make money too, and there's certain people that I've ran into that they've said they've done this, that, and the other, and that's great, and I have a lot of respect for them in that. But if they're really that good of an engineer with all that expensive gear, and the reason why I'm saying this, because you're going to have local bands that whether they're high school kids and can't afford a whole lot, or they're grown adults and they have families to support and they still cannot afford a lot, but yet they want to go in the studio. At least understand where those people are coming from, But don't get arrogant. See, both have to go work together, because there's some of these people that, man, they get really rude, and it's like, okay, if you have all this expensive gear worth millions, then you should be able to make this sound somewhat good. Otherwise, I don't know. It's going to be real embarrassing when you go to somebody's basement that has minimal gear, and yet they're able to make it sound, really good. So that's what I mean. But again, that's person's, preference. They do what they want. But if you had to in a pinch, yeah, you can use this stuff, because I've used it at a lot of gigs. Well, this particular unit I haven't. Okay, but the concept of the effects I have, and when I'm playing out live, and I'm talking about even high-end corporate gigs, as long as you make it sound good, they're not going to complain. See, the gear's not going to play by itself unless I push the button. See, now it'll play by itself because it's a machine, But the gear's not going to play by itself. The amp's not going to play by itself. The pedals, the guitar, you have to do that. So, and again, everything is personal preference. Okay, now this is supposed to be a classic stack. Let's see how classic it really is. Long time since I played that. Like God, since maybe 1980, 85? No, 19, not 1985, 1988, 87, 88. Copyright infringements, you know how that works. Let's see. Yeah, a friend of mine gave me a DR rhythm, but it was small. Yeah, I remember the small ones. You know, Ed, they used to be like real small, like that, almost like in a pencil case. And you could get them in a case. It's been so long. I mean, God, we're talking decades ago, and it was just a real basic, real basic thing, you know. Never figured out the thing, so I gave it back. It was strictly drums, though. Yeah, no guitar stuff. Yep. See, here's the thing. With a lot of this stuff, when you get one button that could do 1,200 functions, it's like, all right, at least you could still do, you know, the functions because you got something tangible to touch. I think a lot of the technology, like with the Beat Buddy, I don't have the Beat Buddy. I think the Beat Buddy is a really good unit if you want to get with for guitar or for bass. You know, do a one-man band thing. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, there's a lot of places that they're. You know, I'm real fortunate and blessed. I'm still able to gig. You know, but a lot of places they're not hiring full bands, or they'll hire you, but you know everyone gets maybe $200. You know, because of the COVID thing. You know. So you have to be a little bit creative. And none of this technology will ever replace a live drummer. I don't care how good it gets. It'll never replace a live drummer. Sorry. You know, just like these guitar unit effects, they sound great, but they're not gonna replace the Fender amp or the Marshall or anything like that. And trust me, when I plug into our Fender Hot Rod Deluxe George Benson model, I could tell, man. It's been a long time since I had a tube amp, and I'm loving that amp. Yeah, I think I did have, yeah, bass pattern, no. Let's see. Yeah, Janice, she's still here. Thank you. Let's see. Of course, there is some weird modeling in the car. Yeah, there is process nobody would use, but I still have the Boss GT8, which has some great stuff. If you don't go, yeah, crazy with it. You know, even the Digitech. Yeah, true, Dave. Linda hates the drum machine. Yeah, she likes the drum. Yeah. See, you'll never. And you know what? Yeah, that's interesting. You say that, Ed. That Linda, you know, being a bass player, you're not gonna like drum machines. You know, you're not gonna like drum machines because there's one thing that the Trio Plus looks like a fun unit at least for price. It is, Dale. I do have the Digitech Trio Plus, and I also have the Digitech S drum pedal. And I should do a little bit more. I have done them like real short videos a while back, almost like a year or two ago. And that's a really cool concept. Here's the drawback with the Trio Plus. If you stop it, and let's say you clear it, and you think you're still on that same pattern, when you hit the switch again as you play, because what it does, it follows your playing. It'll go to the same drum sound, but it'll go to another pattern. And it's like, hey, I didn't do that. I wanted this to start with this type of pattern. So maybe I'm using it wrong. I don't know. But I have used the Trio Plus. It is a cool concept. What's cool with the S drum, it is based off of you strumming your strings. So your bass strings would be for the bass kick, and your treble strings would be for the snare. And once you get that going, it just creates its own thing, which is really, really cool. But again, you know, this is where Ed Dana says about, Linda hates drum machines. Nothing replaces a live drummer. That is that compatible of plugging directly into a PA? Oh yeah, this right here. Yeah. If let's see. This is, you know what? Dale Palmer. Yeah, this is because it's when you plug this into any type of an amp, it's already called for an amp simulator. So yeah, you could go directly into a PA, which is basically what I'm doing with the speaker. This is a portable PA speaker, powered PA speaker. So it really is tailored for that. And so is the Trio. Now the Trio Plus, you have like two outputs, and let's say if you had to go and run it through a guitar amp, what it's gonna do, it'll kind of tailor it so it can handle the mid range of a guitar amp. But then if you just take it, it's direct out on the Trio Plus, and you run that into a powered PA, and then your other output into your guitar amp. When you separate them, ooh, yeah, it sounds badass. But it's still a machine though. But it does have this like really full sound. You know, this is why I use powered PA speakers. I don't when I'm doing my live gigs. I don't think I've ever, only a couple times when we were still living in Illinois. Um, but usually I'll run everything through a powered PA and rely kind of like on the amps and try to get the sound as best as possible. The reason being is I could tolerate not too good of a guitar tone, let's say, but yet the backing tracks, the drums and bass, and when I use my Roland synth, guitar synth, I could handle. I'd rather have that sounding good, and then the guitar sounding. I don't want to say I'm compromising on it, but I'd rather have it that way than the other way around. Killer guitar tone, but the tracks sound crappy. And I understand that you're going to have your critics saying, "Oh, I would never go out there with this, that, and the other." Okay, that's fine. But for people like myself, um, that works great for us. And let's say even if you're a singer songwriter, you want to do the one man band, that does work great. Um, how we started getting involved in doing with the backing track is we were doing guitar clinics and we were spotlighting on our own CDs how we record things and what it sounds like and this, that, and the other. And coming up with melodies up against the rhythm section. And then I got the idea about doing it for shows because it's real hard getting people together. And then when you're doing corporate events, they don't want a whole band unless they hire one, but usually they don't. And a lot of times, because I play classical guitar, that's really where we were making our money. Classical, jazz fusion stuff, flamenco style. Um, we were making some good money with that, man. And I'm not knocking anything else, but you know, um, so that's why you can use this stuff. It does work. And I know there would be people that will say, well, okay, I'm not into that, and that's fine. See, everything serves a purpose. That's the whole point. Everything does serve a purpose, you know. Yeah, what I want is to just go out with my guitar and a drum pedal and a microphone. Yeah, Janice, that's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. Janice, um, I don't know what drum pedal you have, and honestly, guys, for stuff, if you're gonna make up um, songs, this really works for songwriters. One thing I noticed about the Beat Buddy, it's kind of structured out where it's gonna make sense if you're a solo. Let's say you could do your acoustic guitar or even your electric guitar. Yeah, I don't have a drum pedal. Okay, Janice, here's what I would suggest. If you go to buy a drum pedal, before you do, check out videos. But I'm going to tell you, I don't have the Beat Buddy. I don't have it. But from what I've seen, what I do like about it, it's not mixed up. Yeah, you have a digital drum machine. Okay. Then that's basically what this is. But if you were to get a drum pedal and you have the money to spend, and I do like the Digitech products, but what I will say, if 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 I were to buy another pedal, a drum pedal, I would get the Beat Buddy because it's basically structured out. I would get the Beat Buddy and I would get that optional foot switch that comes with it, so that you could do your stops, fill-ins, and your kind of different patterns for, let's say, the bridge part of a song. You know, to get it as realistic as possible. You know, that's my take was on that thing. But getting back to like live drummers, nothing does beat it. But you see, here's the catch-22. No one's paying a whole band. You know, you got to schedule time, and we're in a really weird time. You know. So okay, that's the classic stack sound. So I'm gonna go up. This is supposed to be the 5150. Not too bad. Kind of tight with a little bit of delay. Let's see. From what I hear, the Beat Buddy has excellent drum samples and sounds more realistic than most drum machines. Yeah, Dale. Yeah, it does. It really does. And it's a lot easier. And it kind of makes sense, especially if you're gonna play songs that's mostly in 4/4, and rock and pop. I think it sounds great for that, and you can still get very creative with it. That's what's so cool. Yeah, I truly need a foot switch, and it doesn't have one. Yeah, that's the thing, Janice, because you have to stop. This has a foot. I just don't have it hooked up, but yeah, so you have to start and stop like that. You know. I'll tell you what, Janice. If I was one of the reps from Beat Buddy, I'd send you one. Say, here, let her do a demo. Let her keep it. The whole pedal, the pedal with the foot switch. But I'm not the CEO of any of those companies. But if I were, that's what I would do. Joe, what's happening, brother? Yeah, the Beat Buddy is fantastic for jamming and create. Yeah, Joe. Boom. Exactly. Because I think you have one. Hey, Joe, I like that mixer that you got. You got that Zoom mixer. That thing is badass, man. That thing is real badass. And I saw one of your videos today, and I loved how that whole intro is. And yeah, it's so spot on doing live performances and YouTube performances. And you're right, Joe. And remember when I was telling you about there is a couple of places down here. Zach Thong, what's happening, man? Everyone's tuning in. That's great. So, I hope the weather's good up by you, Zach. I know you're up in Canada. And Joe, I hope you're having good weather. Right now, it kind of cooled down. It's like, well, it says it's 95. It's actually about maybe in the 80s, But it got pretty cool in an early morning, like 5:30 in the morning. Yeah, it got kind of cool. Anyways, but what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So yeah, what I was gonna say, Joe, is that when nah, yeah, yeah, Janice Lala. It's all the gear that we have. It took time for us to get. I mean, we got like a little music store in this house. We spent. I'd have to ask Deb throughout the years. Yeah. Hey, old man Dan, what's happening, man? It was 13 this morning. It felt like 7. Yeah. But see, you're in Colorado, and it could change a lot. But yeah, it's. But what I was gonna say, so I was telling Joe about down here. There was a couple places that one of them, Chris, was looking at getting his band, and he's the guy that looks like Alice Cooper. I got more of his videos I'm gonna be posting up that I recorded on when we did the show together. He writes all his music. He's got really some great stuff. and he's recording the drums, the bass, the synths, and he goes out with a duo acoustic, but with a very very modern type of a sound, very unique. And he was telling me, and I know what the place is that he was talking about, that they said they don't want drum machines and they don't want backing tracks. Okay. And this is the same place they would advertise on Craigslist if you could do an open mic. Now let me ask you, we used to host open mics. I didn't care if you came out dressed up like a clown and you could twist balloons riding a unicycle. All at the same time, as long as you don't fall down and break anything, like your neck or something. Because it's entertainment. So when we would host open mics, I don't care. You could play the songs and the style of music that I hate, but you want to know something? I'm the host. I keep my opinions to myself because it's about getting people out there and having fun. So I told Chris, I said, I think I know who you're talking about. They don't want drum machines. They don't want to have backs. They want a full band, but they don't want to pay for a band. And this is what I was talking with Joe Wentz about.